Gemini, welcome to Grounded Oracles. We're going to start today with a meditation type of intuition card, inviting you to pray, meditate over this card in the next week or two, journal, do whatever you need to develop that intuition and see what this card is speaking to you, the colors, the shapes, saturation, all of the image itself. We have the creative genius. Think outside the box. Trust your creative instincts. Gather, execute, and inspire. And then come back and drop a comment, Gemini, after you've done this and share what insight's been given to you. All right, Gemini. This is a timeless general read, but chances are if you've clicked on this, there's something in here for you, Gemini. So keep an open mind and release expectations and let Spirit speak to you. What does Gemini need to know about the current situation, upcoming situations, for their best and highest good? If you are new here, Gemini, my name is Tracy, and you are very welcome. If you are returning, know how much I appreciate you and that I pray for you daily. Okay. What's just Gemini need to know? All right. Start with the Fool card. Beautiful energy to start off with, Gemini. Okay, and then we have the Hangman. And we have the Justice card. Oh my. 3 major arcanas right out of the gate. We have the 5 of Pentacles. We have the Judgment card. And we have the Queen of Swords. So major energies for you, Gemini. When I was pre-shuffling your cards and meditating here, I kept seeing an image, almost like, almost reminding me of like the 8 of Pentacles, hardworking, mastering, working with your hands, like creative genius in collaborating. I was seeing working with your hands, designing and creating something, hard at work, honing your skill, learning and mastering. And then we got this card, the creative genius. So I think it's very much tied, Gemini. And I think that is the really strong collective energy. And we've got, new beginnings. We've got fairness. We've got balance, new perspective, and a calling on your life, right? To get out of the old and into the new. So, Gemini, I feel like those of you that see yourself as being creative, you are going to gain some clarity, okay? You are going to be inspired by people who you didn't think maybe would inspire you. They could be people whom you don't get along with, who you don't particularly even like. But I think you may grow to respect persons, because somehow you'll gain new perspective on this, but really you're going to become a little more balanced in how you see them. And as someone who may have dissed you, turned their back on you, just someone that didn't give you an overall vibe, made you feel less than. Okay, so some of you will be receiving some sort of clarity and communication from a person or community that is going to give you new perspective and give you a new idea. Now, this could be a new project, is what I'm leaning more towards for most of you. Some could be a new job, a new collaboration, could be a new, fresh way of seeing yourself and certain projects that you've worked on and put to bed. So you'll be getting sort of a new lease on life. Okay. Some of you are entering a whole new phase of your life. Now, this is still talking about people that consider themselves as being creative and maybe are in a creative field already. Something in the arts, something in music, something in theater. Any of the traditional creative arts, writing, publishing, anything in those, people who consider themselves creative, there's like a calling to teach as well. Okay, there's a calling to embrace new ideas and to set people on a new path by pointing out their creative side, by endorsing, embracing, and helping people build up and release. Okay, that's going to make you feel like a better person. It's going to bring focus to you and the other person, right? So that's really exciting, Gemini. Some of you have been fairly mistreated, misjudged in the past, and you might have even felt like your creative projects have been unappreciated. You may have felt like what's the purpose in this? Because maybe something hasn't taken off yet. But you are doing exactly what you've been called to do, Gemini. Only this time, like a snake shedding its skin, you're going into a new version. So I think some of you will be a brand new project, and some of you it will be a new, like new packaging on something old, like a new way of presenting it. And it's going to be at the right timing. It's going to be at the right place with the right people. So don't give up hope. Something is going to be resurrected for you, Gemini. All right. And you'll be standing in your power, so to speak, right? Because you get this new perspective on things, because you're brought into balance, because you're accepting the call, you're going to have a little bit more self esteem and confidence. So, those of you that were struggling with the can'ts, I can'ts, what ifs, not good enough, are going to feel a bit more or a lot more restored. But you are going to have a choice, right? You're going to have a choice of not to look at yourself in a certain way, not to listen to other people's judgments, because you are successful, Gemini. Okay. So even though maybe your product hasn't taken off, or it hasn't had as many views if you're on social media, or you haven't had enough subscribers, whatever it might be, social media, non social media, we are really dependent as a society on other people's opinions. So try to get out of that frame of mind and stand in your own power. You are precious, talented in your own right, Gemini, and you've been given a lot of gifts. Okay, so there's going to be sort of a resurrection in what you've been doing. Some of this may have been after a time that has been stagnant, but you are going to be getting a new lease on life, right? Okay. Now, the others of you, with wherever Gemini is in your chart, who feel like you haven't been given many, if any, creative gifts, right? And I can totally relate. I don't really have much of a creative genius in me, only in the way I think, execute, and plan. I'm a very strong Capricorn, pragmatic. So it's hard for me to break down and see the creative sides, but I am learning that it is there. You just may have to dig a little bit. You may have to take something, gain new perspective. But Gemini, there's parts of you that are going to be resurrected as if it never, something you've never experienced before. It could be something you did as a kid and you thought it was a passing fancy. It's going to be resurrected. There's parts of you that maybe you took part in a school play or a school project decades ago and you liked it, but you never really did anything with it. For some of you, it could be dance. That is going to be resurrected and enhanced in such a way that you're really going to have a new lease on life. You're going to see the new colors and I just see the hangman and it almost looks like an aurora borealis kind of, but looking at it from different angles, you'll see the different colors. You'll have a deeper meaning and call to life, Gemini. This is beautiful. Some of you will gain clarity with and sense of fairness. Like if you feel like you've spent so much of your life not fitting in, not living the life that you want because you have felt some lack, that is going to be pointed out to you for you to accept and to work with, right? We need to accept and work with things and put in the work to make these kinds of changes. So, Gemini, this is really huge and very beautiful. So, you're going to gather some information. You're going to gather or brainstorm things that you appreciate about yourself, what others appreciate about you, to help feed you to this new perspective. All right. You're going to execute your plans, execute your creativity. Some of these things need to be put into practice, right? It doesn't, people don't always just sit down and create something, although they do often. For some of us, it's a little bit more of a transition, transformation, and you'll be easily inspired, right? So trust your creative instincts. Things have an appropriate place in time. Like, we cannot control other people. I recently had a discussion with someone about belief in divine timing. And the discussion was, uh, I don't know if I believe in divine timing, not myself, my friend. And I, I said, well, we can't control other people. People have free will. They do not have to hit like and subscribe. They do not have to purchase your thing. We are dependent on other people, but that doesn't mean you're not successful. That doesn't mean there isn't divine timing, because you can manifest till the cows come home. Yes, you've got to put in that belief, act as if that event or that thing is already happening. But sometimes we can want something, work towards something, but there's things in us that aren't quite ready yet. So there is a period of waiting that sometimes happens. That doesn't mean you aren't setting intentions correctly. That does not mean you aren't manifesting correctly. Sometimes it's just there's a timing to things. Or it may include other people for collaboration or a raise or promotion, and they may not be ready yet. So I very much strongly believe in both manifestation, but definitely in divine timing. There is a balance to things, right? There's a justice and fairness to things. I think if we always got what we wanted, we wouldn't be putting in the work to get there. And there is work that needs to happen so we don't sabotage ourselves, so we don't go backwards. We need to learn the lesson, not just for our own souls, but to help other people, right? We need to lend that helping hand to help other people. And sometimes you're an inspiration to other people, and they will lift themselves up out of the muck. There is a reason we go through things. In Gemini, your life has not been in waste. Your struggles have not been in vain. You are being noticed. You have been called to live your life in your passion. So do not give up, okay? Do not give up. This is very, Gemini, this is probably the best reading I've done for you. All right, now let's take a look at some oracle cards. Spirit, what else does Gemini need to know about their journey? Whether or not they are struggling with finding creativity, or they've been in the creative field for eons. Okay, we have island, solitude, right? No man is an island unto himself, right? We need other people. We may feel like we have been alone. We may have even thrived in being alone, but you do need other people for that collaboration at some point. Then you need people to buy your product, believe in your product or your services. For some of you've been too dependent on other people's opinions, and you do need to have some solitude. The hermit, the hangman, to get new perspective, right? And as you do that, you will heal as you create, right? Seems to be quite the collective energy lately about working with your hands, getting into nature, helping you to release feelings. And by creating, you are connecting with the universe, the collective consciousness, right? So some of you need to take some solitude time. All right, what else does Gemini need to know? All right, and so we have focus. Getting this card a lot. Amethyst, you may want to consider purifying your surroundings. Purge things you aren't using or do not bring you joy. And work on your crown chakra, okay? Cleansing, balancing that, making sure you're aligned so you can hear direct downloads from above, okay? And focus on that which is in front of you. So some of you might be too future focused and need to be more in the now, the mindfulness. Very important to appreciate what we have in order to be given more. That's one more thing with divine timing. Okay, we're going to pull a grounding healing card that's needed at this time for Gemini. Okay, beautiful. All right. And we have number 13 or 4. It's gorgeous. It's like surrendering yourself. I release negative thoughts about myself and my life, right? So if you feel like you've been left less than, left out in the cold, not having enough, needing help and not feeling like anybody's helping you, it's time to face it, accept it, and release it. All right. No matter if that negative thought is just, uh, oh, I don't think I can do it, to all the way up where you are completely sabotaging yourself all the time. It's time to change those thoughts and behaviors. So I release negative thoughts about myself and my life. Beautiful, Gemini. Okay. Now I think let's pull an inspiration card. Is there any additional inspiration messages that Gemini would find helpful at this time? Make sure, Gemini, you're getting plenty of rest. Being creative sometimes can be very emotional and very draining, but also very fulfilling at the same time. Okay, and we have freedom. I have the freedom and power to create the life I want. So this brings up another good point. You can be, when we are defining creativity, the creation, sometimes it's creating the life you want. So all of these smaller things lend itself into the overall picture of your life. Are you living the life you want? Creating, that's being true to yourself and your values, right? It's using your time wisely. It's even trying to put joy and gratitude into the mundane things. None of us can get out of those things. Maybe someday you'll have enough money to hire someone to clean for you, cook for you, all of these things. But in the meantime, it's a work in progress. So embrace that freedom, Gemini, right? Embrace the newness of things that will get you one step closer to either defining or living the life that you want. Oh, Gemini, this is very beautiful. Um, I invite you to hit like, share, subscribe so this message can get out to others with Gemini in their chart. Please do. Please support this channel and growing. And this message is important because there's people out there who do need to hear it. Okay, so leave a comment of how this resonated for you, what kind of joy and excitement you're feeling, where even your creative genius lies currently. This is very great. Okay, Gemini, I hope you have a great week and stay grounded.